to Elite Weather Forecasting. My name is Julie Godot, and today we are going to talk yet again about severe weather across the center of the nation there through the central and southern plains and Oklahoma and Kansas. Today we're going to see yet another round of severe thunderstorms with the possibility of a tornado outbreak this afternoon and evening. Our city of the day is going to be Seattle, Washington. You see the Space Needle out there. It's a very beautiful place to be. Wonderful city there. Very colorful and lively. But you don't see very colorful and lively weather today as it's cloudy skies, and there are a few showers going on out there right now. As you could probably see some water drops here on our camera as that Pacific storm system is coming on shore. There's going to be spreading some rain showers down along the beaches and the coastal sections there, all the way down to Portland. We might see a few snowflakes over at the highest elevations of the Cascades. But let's talk about the national radar now and take a look at what's going on across the nation. Here we are with a live look at what's going on across the nation out there, and we look at this area here through the Midwest and the Central Plains here. We do see some showers and storms going on right now at this time out there as we have that area of low pressure. We have our cold front here. There's also a dry line with a warm front extending out through the mid-Atlantic states that's going to be creating our triple point area here that once again is going to provide the catalyst for some very severe storms this afternoon. We are seeing a few rain showers here across the northeast there with our old storm system that's currently working its way into Canada right now and is continuing to weaken as it does so. But we have our next storm system coming on shore here along the Pacific Northwest. Gonna spread some rainfall here and maybe a few snowflakes here in the Cascades, way up at the top about 9,000 feet. So any of those peaks that's going to go up above the 9,000 feet level is going to see some of those snow showers. But for the most part, we're going to be seeing some rain. There might even be some thunderstorms here along the front range later on this afternoon. But I don't expect any severe weather for that part of the nation. Here is where our focus for that severe weather is going to be right here for Oklahoma City. Wichita is going to be in there. Tulsa, Oklahoma as well. Going to be seeing that potential there for those tornadoes once again this afternoon and evening from that storm system that's going to be bringing that severe weather. Here's a look at your national forecast. Okay, here's a look at your national weather forecast as we're going to talk a little bit more about that severe weather that we're going to be seeing across the central and southern plains today. All right, as we go into our maps, we can see this storm system right here that's going to be spreading those storms today across parts of Oklahoma as well as Kansas there. So right here in this area, we're going to be talking about Oklahoma City and Wichita as well. Tulsa, Oklahoma is going to be in the line for some of that thunderstorms. We're going to see thunderstorms also into parts of Missouri and Arkansas. Yeah, so the Ozarks also going to be seeing some of those severe storms and things this afternoon and evening as well. But I think our more hard-hit part is going to be here in Oklahoma, between Oklahoma City and Wichita. So if you're in this here like Ponca City, Oklahoma, you're going to be in line for some of those really bad severe storms where you can see those large tornadoes. We're talking about 3-inch diameter hail, 80+ mile-per-hour winds is going to be possible in this severe storm threat area for this afternoon and evening. So we do have our dry line out here that's going to be going down through Texas. So that's going to help be the catalyst for some of that severe storm. You know, this setup is very similar to the setup that caused that severe outbreak in Kansas last Friday that led to that dangerous, destructive tornado, the F3 tornado over in the Andover area near Wichita. So we're seeing that the very similar setup, although our low pressure area is not as strong, as deep as that low pressure area, as we're looking at about a 1,000 millibar low here. It may drop down a couple points as this moves to the east. And once this eventually gets out into the Indiana and Illinois area, we're going to see it start to fill in a little bit. and that pressure start to rise. So it's going to begin to weaken. The severe threat is going to weaken as that storm system makes its way to this area here. So as we maybe tomorrow we'll see a little bit less of a threat for severe weather. But another storm system, this storm system, another system is going to form right here over the Southern Rockies and move out into the same area. So Wednesday, we're going to see the same threat again for that severe weather for this area as these storms once again form out here and another round of severe weather going to take place. So here's what we're going to be looking at for your Tuesday. As this frontal boundary here, we do have this cold front, so we'll see those showers and thunderstorms form right along this cold front. You see our dry line is gone because our front is going to overrun the dry line, but this system is going to move into the upper Midwest here, into parts of Missouri and Illinois and Iowa. So you're going to start to see some storms here. Here's where our severe threat is going to be for Tuesday. So as we look at Wednesday now, here is the next storm system that's going to move out into the plains. This one might actually pack a little bit of snow, so we could actually see some snow move into Nebraska here. So that's going to spread some snow showers for you folks for Wednesday in Nebraska. But in the meantime, we're going to be dealing with that severe weather down here across North Texas into Oklahoma, Kansas again. You're going to be dealing with that severe weather threat from this next storm system. All right, so here's what our threat analysis looks like this afternoon. We have that enhanced risk area right here, Oklahoma, as well as we have our moderate threat right here for severe weather. Here's our enhanced threat around that. And then we have a slight risk that's going to extend over into Missouri and Arkansas, central Kansas, also down into North Texas. We may see that severe threat. We're going to have that marginal risk down here into Texas. We're looking at northwest Louisiana, southeastern Arkansas, north Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, southern Illinois, Missouri, again into north Kansas here. We're going to be seeing that marginal severe threat. But here's where our area of concern really lies, in this enhanced and this moderate threat right here across the central plains there. So we got Oklahoma City, Tulsa, especially Tulsa. You're really in the center of all this. So Tulsa, Oklahoma can have a very interesting afternoon and evening, as well as we already have some of those storms firing. But I think what's going to happen is this stuff is going to could create problems that we're seeing this activity this early in the day. But what could happen is this may help stabilize the atmosphere a bit. So it may limit the amount of severe weather that we see this afternoon and evening as that dry line approaches. We're waiting for that dry line to approach. And once we see that interaction here with the moisture coming up off the Gulf, our dry line and our triple point area right in here across the border of Nebraska and Kansas, we're going to be seeing that low pressure center. This is where our greatest area of shear is, right in this area here, because you have that twisting in the atmosphere from that area of low pressure, the dynamics from that low pressure center. So this is where we're going to be seeing that severe weather. But if we get those storms to fire down here in the southwest, where they're not really having any activity, so we get those storms firing here, they will then travel into these rich, where the decent dynamics are for that severe weather later on in the afternoon. So here's what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. Like I said earlier, our low pressure center, as it moves to the northeast, is going to start to weaken and lose some of its dynamics. So we're only going to see that slight risk here across the Ohio Valley. Maybe if you are in like Toledo, or we're talking Louisville, Kentucky, you might be in the slight risk area. You're going to see that slight risk. Then there's also a marginal risk that's going to be on the outside of this. So we're going to be seeing that threat for damaging winds and large hail. I don't think the tornado threat is going to be too much of a problem. It's going to be a very, very low risk for tornado with that activity. Here we are for Wednesday. Here is our next storm system. We're going to see that enhanced risk right here across central Oklahoma once again. So Oklahoma City, Tulsa, you guys are going to be right in the bullseye for that severe weather. You're going to see that enhanced risk for tornadoes, some large hail, damaging winds once again, and excessive rainfall is going to be possible with some of these storms, as I think these storms that we're going to see on Wednesday are going to be wetter than the storms we're going to see this afternoon and evening. So excessive rainfall and flash flooding is going to be a big issue when we get into Wednesday, as some areas can receive as much as 2 inches or more of rainfall. So we're going to see those gully washers for this area for your Wednesday. So as we look at some of the parameters for your severe weather, here's our cape, and we are going to see that decent cape move into Oklahoma today. We're going to be seeing that cape. If you look down here, you see our colors here, our guide here, our legend that's going to tell you what the cape parameters are. We're going to be looking at that cape, about 2,000 or 3,000 joule kilogram cape here. So we got a lot of energy for the atmosphere to work with to help those storms fire off this afternoon and evening. And here's what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. That frontal boundary is going to make its way to the east a little bit. So some of that cape is going to get suppressed a little bit more to the south, and we're going to see that cape rise into the Ohio Valley. This is where our marginal risk and our slight risk for severe weather, for severe thunderstorms exist for Tuesday. In this area, we're going to be seeing about 1,000 joule kilograms of cape. So we got a little bit of cape to work with in that area. Certainly not as good as what we're going to be seeing in this area. So as we get down into your Wednesday, that cape starts to reappear now in Oklahoma and Texas. So we're going to see that decent cape start to move into Oklahoma once again, and we're going to see those severe thunderstorms kick off as they're going to have a lot of juices. We're going to be approaching that 2,000 joule kilogram cape once again for Oklahoma and North Texas. And here's our SIN. Our SIN is our capping in the atmosphere. This is what prevents the thunderstorms from developing. So your storms is going to have to fight through the cap in the atmosphere, which is your SIN. It's just the convective inhibition. So you're going to have to fight through this. So we got a kind of a moderate cap in the atmosphere right here through the central plains. In a lot of areas, there's no cap here in Oklahoma and stuff, bro. So those thunderstorms are not going to have any issues this afternoon in getting started, which what we're already seeing those storms developing out there. So it's not going to be any capping issues to be concerned about through Oklahoma. But in Kansas, those storms will have to fight through the cap a little bit, and there's a little bit less cape in Oklahoma, in Kansas as well. So it's going to take a little bit more for those storms to get started here through Kansas. All right, so now let's take a look at what we're going to be seeing out there for your Tuesday as far as your cap is concerned. So we're not going to see a whole lot of cap to deal with here through the Ohio Valley here. There's going to be a little bit of capping in Ohio and over across southern Michigan and Indiana and maybe down through southern Illinois. Right along the border here with Kentucky and Tennessee, back over into the Ozarks here in Arkansas, you may have a little bit of capping to deal with as well. But all of the dynamics aren't very promising in this area. So even though there's a bit less of a cap for the storms to fight through, there's just not going to be a whole lot of energy there to produce the stronger storm. So we're just going to be dealing with that moderate to slight risk for storms in that area. So as we take a look at what we're going to be seeing on Wednesday get a little bit more of a cap down here through Oklahoma. So we're going to see a much stronger cap to fight through on Oklahoma. But if we can get through that cap, then we'll see those storms really get going. And these storms are going to be heavy rain producers. The tornado threat is going to be a little bit lower with this system, but we will see heavy rain and large hail, and those damaging winds also may be a little bit less as well, as this is going to be mostly a rainfall event. Heavy thunderstorms. So here is our shear. This is our twisting in the atmosphere with altitude. So we got about a good 40 knot jet going on right now. So 40 knot 40 knot bulk shear going on here across the central plains and the southern plains through Oklahoma and Kansas. So the shear is decent. So we're going to see that moderate tornado threat because we do have about a 50 knot bulk shear going on right now. So as tomorrow, we're going to lose a lot of shearing here. So a lot less shearing to work with here. That shear does move into the Ohio Valley and Indiana and Illinois area tomorrow. So we will see a little bit of shear out there that way. So that helps with the tornado cyclogenesis and the twisting in the atmosphere. But this will kind of ensure a better chance of seeing those rotating supercells develop right in that area. But since we don't have a whole lot of instability and a little bit weaker lift, so even though you have good bulk shear, so you need everything to kind of work together. And if you're missing certain ingredients, that's because you have good cape or you have, so we have less cape, so we're going to be dealing with a little bit weaker storms for your Tuesday out over the Ohio Valley. So here's again what we're going to be looking at for Wednesday as far as that cape is concerned, that shear. So we have good shear again. We're going to develop another 35 to 40 knot bulk shear through this area for Wednesday. So again, a little bit less for the tornado and rotating thunderstorms, but these will produce some heavy rainfall. All right, so here's some more close-up views of what we think is going to be taking place with some of the severe weather this afternoon. We got Oklahoma City this afternoon, and they will be seeing that medium risk for tornadoes here in Oklahoma City. And we're going to see the large hail up to baseball size hail and winds 60 to 80 miles per hour. And that's what's to be expected across Oklahoma City and central and southern Oklahoma this afternoon. As we look at what we're going to be seeing out there for Wednesday. So Wednesday, large hail is going to continue, damaging winds, maybe a few tornadoes. More of a threat today than we're going to see out there for Wednesday. But we do have that enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms continuing through Oklahoma City and into the Tulsa area. And here's what we're going to be seeing in Tulsa this afternoon. So Tulsa, again, that severe thunderstorm, you are going to be in that moderate risk area for that. So you have the greatest risk for seeing that severe weather and those tornadoes out there this afternoon through Tulsa. So that's going to give you that medium risk for tornadoes and that large hail. So we're going to see some half-dollar size hail. So the tornado risk is going to be bigger, but you're going to see large hail as well. That half-dollar to golf ball size hail. And we're going to be talking about 60 to 70 mile per hour winds down here in the Tulsa area. So you good folks in Tulsa need to pay attention to the weather forecast and to what's going on in your area, as you're going to be seeing that threat for those tornadoes with some of those rotating supercell thunderstorms out there today. And here's what we're going to be seeing this afternoon if you're going to be going through Missouri tonight. So we have that slight risk into the Ozark area of Missouri and Arkansas. So we got Branson down here, the state capital of Springfield for Missouri. You guys are going to be dealing with that slight risk for severe weather. And then we have that enhanced risk here back in the Tulsa, and also that moderate risk for severe thunderstorms as well. So you guys too will be dealing with that hail up to the size of 2-inch diameter. So you also going to have that 2-inch diameter hail, those winds up to 65 miles per hour, maybe an isolated tornado for your area, and heavy rainfall is going to be a possibility for you folks down there in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas and northeastern Oklahoma. And here's what we're going to see for your Wednesday out there. For again, you're going to be dealing with that that if you're doing any outdoor activities, pay attention to your local weather forecast, and you're going to be dealing with that excessive rainfall. We're talking about 2 inches plus of rainfall here in northeastern Oklahoma. We got southeastern Kansas, southern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas. You're going to be dealing with excessive rainfall, and then also that enhanced thunderstorms for that severe weather, that tornado threat, that heavy rain, large hail. You have that slight risk here through Fort Smith, and we got Fayetteville as well. So Coffeyville, Kansas, you folks are gonna be dealing with that, and also Branson and Springfield, Missouri. You guys are in that marginal risk for severe weather. So you're going to be seeing that isolated severe storms with your activity through parts of Missouri and Arkansas as well. And here's what we're going to be looking at for the other danger that's associated with this time of year. If you're in the Southwest, a lot of times through the plain states here, the high plains, the front range of the Rockies, deal with a lot of dry air, a lot of high winds, and that fire danger. So we're dealing with critical fire weather this afternoon. We have an elevated risk into North Texas, and we will be seeing that that critical fire through most of the central portions of New Mexico here, south of the mountain ranges below Santa Fe and Albuquerque. So you're down here in Las Cruces, you're going to be dealing with that potential for that fire danger. Here's what we're going to be seeing for your Tuesday out there. That fire danger is going to continue with that critical that's going to spread into northern Arizona as well as southern Arizona. You're going to get that elevated fire danger. Now, this will ease as we go into Wednesday because of the storm systems coming through. So it's going to provide a little bit of cooler conditions, maybe a little bit more moisture in the air. We're dealing with dew points in the single digits of the percent here, so we're saying like 3% humidity, very low humidity levels for this area right now. But when we move into Wednesday, a little bit higher humidity, cooler temperatures, a little bit less wind as we get that northerly influence from those storm systems as they move off to the east and through the plain states. My name is Dooley Godot. Thanks for watching as I update the severe weather once again. I'll be back later on with the national forecast for your Tuesday coming up that you guys can see on TikTok. So we'll also talk about the weather that's coming up for your next round of severe weather in the next video here on YouTube. My name is Dooley Godot. Please like, subscribe, and leave your comments down in the comment section. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.